Hello everyone, my name is John McCann and I am the Tabletop Tutor. Phase 10 is a game for 2 to 6 players ages 8 and up. You can use the chapter bar at the bottom of the screen to navigate this video. Phase 10 is a Rummy style card game with a twist. Instead of playing a card game with the same goal over and over again, you get to play through 10 phases, each with a different goal. The first player that completes Phase 10 at the end of a hand is the winner. If 2 or more players complete Phase 10 in the same hand, then the player with the lowest total points is the winner. If the 2 players are still tied, they get to play a final Phase 10 match, and the first player to go out is declared the final winner. Pick a first player to shuffle the deck and deal out 10 cards face down to each player. Players hold their 10 cards in hand so that only they can see their cards. Place the remaining deck face down in the center of the table and turn the top card of the deck face up next to the deck to form the first card of the discard pile. Skip cards cannot be picked up from the discard pile, and if one comes up after the deal, the first player loses their first turn. Now let's learn how to play. When it's your turn, you first draw a card into your hand either from the top of the discard pile or from the top of the face down draw pile. Add the card to your hand. Before you end your turn, if you can make your phase, meaning that you have all the cards in hand to accomplish the goal of the phase you are on, then you lie those cards face up in front of you, visible to all players. You may lay down more cards than the minimum. For example, if you only need a set of 3 cards and you have 4 matching cards, you may lay down all 4 cards. If you're in Phase 1 and you need 2 sets of 3 but you only have 6 8s, then you may lay them down as 2 separate sets of 3. You may not lay down additional cards in front of you that are not part of your phase. Once you have made your phase, you're most likely still going to have a couple of cards in your hand. Hitting is the way to get rid of these additional cards. You make a hit by placing a card from your hand directly onto someone else's phase. For example, if another player has made the phase by laying down a set of 3 7s and you have a 7 in your hand after you've made your phase, you can hit your 7 by adding it to your opponent's phase. You can only make a hit on your turn after you have made your phase. You may hit on your own cards, your opponent's cards, or both in a single turn. End your turn by discarding one of your cards face up to the discard pile. After you discard a card, if you have no cards remaining in your hand, then you have gone out. Players try to go out as quickly as possible since this will ensure that you score 0 points for the round. Once a player has gone out, then record the score of all players on a separate sheet of paper. For each player, score like this. Names across the top and the phase numbers 1 to 10 down the page. As each player completes their phase, cross off the corresponding number off under their name to keep track of which phase each player is on. Next to that total, score up the cards remaining in hand after each round. Cards on the table don't have any value. Cards numbered 1 to 9 are worth 5 points each. Cards numbered 10 to 12 are worth 10 points each. Skip cards, 15 points each, and wild cards are worth 25 points each. There are a few definitions we need to cover for the game. A set is made up of 2 or more cards with the same number. The cards can be made up of any combination of colors, including wild cards. A run is made up of 4 or more cards in numerical order. The cards can be made up of any combination of colors, including wild cards. All one color is made up of cards of the same color. Remember that wild cards can be considered any number or color, so 7 cards of one color could be satisfied with 6 blues and a green wild. A wild card can be used in place of a number card or may be used as any color. More than one wild card may be used to complete a phase as long as they use at least one natural card. Once a wild card has been used to make a phase or in a hit, it cannot be replaced with another card. If the deal starts with a wild card in the discard pile, it may be picked up by the active player. Skip cards have only one purpose, to skip another player's turn. A skip card may never be picked up from the discard pile. To use Discard the skip card and pick the player who will lose their turn. Only one skip may be used against each player per round of turns around the table. A skip card may never be used to complete a phase or make a hit. A player may only complete one phase per round. If you successfully make the phase, then you advance to the next phase in the next hand. If you don't make the phase in this hand, then you must repeat the same phase again in the next hand. Phases must be made in order from 1 to 10. You receive credit for making the phase as soon as you lay it down. You don't have to go out on the hand to receive credit. Several players will often finish a phase in the same hand. Thank you for watching this tabletop tutorial for Phase 10 by Fundex. My name is John McCann and I am the Tabletop Tutor. If you enjoyed this video and would like to follow along as I share games that I enjoy, please find the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes. That's all for now, and I look forward to seeing you at the gaming table.